Hey guys, it's Ms. Caceres. Welcome back. Okay, today we begin a completely new lesson, lesson 6, called Space Exploration Should Be More Science Than Fiction / Humans Should Stay Home and Let Robots Take to the Stars. This, again, as you can see, is a collaborate and compare argumentative writing. One was written by Claudia Alarcon and the other one was written by Arian Caffel. Our essential question for this unit remains the same. Why is the idea of space exploration both inspiring and unnerving? At the end, we will compare arguments. We'll go now to the quick start activity. An important debate has been taking place about the cost and risk of space exploration. How important is space exploration for our future? Is space travel too risky for humans? Discuss your ideas with the class. So this will be a class debate. We'll be able to do this if you guys like in separate breakout rooms, or we'll be able to do it on a jam board. One of the topics that we're going to be focusing on in this argumentative writing is the argument itself. It's when a speaker states a claim and supports it with reasons and evidence. What's a claim? It's when the speaker's position on a problem or issue. The strength of an argument relies not only on the claim itself, but on the support. The support consists of the reasons and evidence used to prove that claim. The reasons are declarations made to explain an action or a belief. The evidence includes specific facts, statistics, or examples. To trace or follow the reasoning of an argument, you must identify the claim in which may be stated directly or implied, look for reasons and evidence that support that claim, note how the author connects the claim, reasons, and evidence, and finally, identify the counter-argument statements that address the opposing viewpoints. A good argument anticipates opposing viewpoints and provides counter-arguments to disapprove the opposing views. What does that mean? From whatever perspective you're standing when it comes to an argument, you have to be able to stand your ground and demonstrate your reasoning and your evidence for why you believe what you say is what it is, in the sense that what you say is effective, what you say is reality. Some of the things you have to look at when you're talking about an argumentative writing are the different elements that go into it. It includes a claim and counter arguments. It includes reasons and evidence to support the claim. It may contain rhetorical devices, and it could be formal or informal. Now, speaking of which, we're going to be analyzing rhetorical devices as we read this argumentative writings. What are rhetorical devices? They're techniques that writers use to enhance their arguments and communicate more effectively. A few rhetorical devices are described in this chart, along with examples of each from the selections. Here are a couple of examples of rhetorical devices. Some of them we are aware of, some are new to you guys. One is addressing readers using pronouns you and yourself. This is known as the direct address. It gets the reader's attention and connects them to the topic. For example, imagine yourself as an astronaut, a part of the first manned mission to Mars. So as you can see, they're connecting you as the reader to the story. Rhetorical questions are those that do not need a reply. Writers use them to engage the readers or to suggest that their arguments make the answer obvious. Example, would you want to trust a scientific mission to the people who run reality TV? Obviously not. Sweeping generalizations are those that are too broad. Sweeping generalizations often include words such as all, everyone, every time, anything, no one, and none. Here's an example of that. Obviously, no single government would want to take on that kind of funding. And then you've got loaded language. It consists of words with strongly positive or negative connotations intended to influence a reader or a listener. Example, this form of mining, therefore, would be incredibly beneficial for our survival and advancement. So those are the two things we're going to focus on with this argumentative writing. Now let's take a look at our critical vocabulary. You have administration, beneficial, plague, erupt, prominent, advancement, and dubious. Once you've chosen an answer, type it in, check to see if your answer is correct, and then remember to hit that check button to send it in for me. Our language conventions that we're going to be focusing on in this lesson are subordinating conjunctions. In case you've forgotten, a subordinate clause begins with a subordinating conjunction, such as after, although, as, because, before, even though, if, since, so, that, though, unless, until, when, where, and while. A subordinate clause may also begin with a relative pronoun, such as which, that, who, and whose. As you read, watch for subordinating conjunctions and relative pronouns that are used to form complex sentences, those with one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. Now, here we're going to move on to the reading part. So we begin with space exploration should be more science than fiction, an argumentative writing by Claudia Alarcon. Here's some background information on her. Exploring the outer reaches of our solar system and sending humans to Mars is no longer the stuff of science fiction. NASA has sent orbiters and rovers to the red planet for decades. But now the goal is to send humans to orbit Mars by the 2030s. Many scientists and politicians are rallying around this goal, as well as around other missions that will allow humans to probe the mysteries of space. Wow, doesn't that sound interesting, you guys? So, we begin reading, and then we come to the first analyze and argument question. Annotate. Underline the author's central claim in paragraph 1. Now remember, annotation is not available here on the online platform, but you can do it in your textbook and then come back and answer the question here in interpret. What does the author think we should do? Remember when writing your answer to take in consideration capitalizing at the beginning, correct spelling and grammar, and of course punctuation. We read the next following paragraphs. Look at that beautiful picture, guys, of a NASA satellite, or better known as the Hubble telescope. And here's another picture of a nebula that was taken by the Hubble telescope. Okay, here's our next question. These are referring to rhetorical devices. Annotate. Highlight examples of loaded language in paragraph 4. If you've forgotten what loaded language is, you can always go back, take a look at it, and then come back and start searching in paragraph 4. Once you've highlighted those examples, it's time to answer the analyze question. Why do you think the author chose these words? How do they enhance her argument? Type in your answer, continue reading, and move on to the language conventions question. Annotate. Underline 2 complex sentences in paragraph 5 and highlight the relative pronouns. Remember, complex sentences are a combination of a simple sentence and a complex sentence. And relative pronouns, we know what those are: which, here, her. We saw them recently. It's time to interpret. What 2 ideas do the relative pronouns connect in each sentence? Analyze that for a second and then type in your answer. We come now to text in focus. This is a short video that you guys would have to watch. Once you've watched that video, we move on to analyze the argument. Annotate. In paragraph 7, highlight a reason that the author uses to support her claim that we must continue to explore space. Once you've done that, come back to the online platform and type in your answer for the evaluate question. Is the reason relevant? Does it make sense? If your answer is yes or no, you still have to explain why or why not. Type in your answer, read the next 2 paragraphs, come to the next question for analyze rhetorical devices. Annotate in your textbook the rhetorical question in paragraph 9. Come back to the online platform and type in your answer for the analyze question. What purpose does the rhetorical question serve? What is it useful for? Why is it there? That's basically what they're asking you. Remember to capitalize, check your grammar and spelling, and your punctuation before typing in your answer. We come to another question. Extreme or absolute language. Notice and note, highlight the words in paragraph 11 that seem to exaggerate or overstate a case. Means that they're making it bigger than what it really is. Then you come back to the online platform and type in your answer for the analyze question. How does the use of these words help the author's argument? Type it in, and then we finish the last paragraph. Well, I can't wait to see what you guys think about this argumentative writing by Claudia Alarcon. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.